Hello, all you lovely people out there, all you coffee enthusiasts, all you coffee lovers out there. I, Limitless, wholeheartedly welcome you all to another coffee tasting episode. And I must admit, guys, it's been a while. It's been a while since I have tasted some specialty coffee and shared that with you guys. But at the same time, I have done one review of an instant coffee, and I must say that was a good coffee. But at that point I realized, why do I like specialty coffees much more than instant coffees? And the answer to that question is that, well, instant coffee does not give you that level of profoundness in the flavors. You know, when you are enjoying a nice cup of pour over made out of a nice specialty coffee, you know, you spend some time with those flavor notes. What I actually do is spend some time with that coffee, sitting and sipping that coffee with nice music, and that's a meditative process that I actually don't get from an instant coffee. And that's completely okay. Everybody has some subjective choices. Some people are really instant and are always on the go, but I like to spend some quality time with my coffee. So anyway, enough of that rambling. Let's come to the point and talk about today's coffee. So today's coffee is from Third Wave Coffee Roasters. Yeah, guys, and I must say that this coffee roaster brand is really good when it comes to providing you a proper preference, because what they do in the very beginning, they provide you a small quiz where you can just go and fill in some answers to some questions, and then after that they would recommend you some nice suggestions which are in alignment with your preferences. And I took that quiz and I came across this coffee by the name of El Diablo, which is a very fruity kind of coffee along with some sweet flavors in it. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna get those flavor notes. So without any more delay, let's get into this coffee and see what kind of flavor notes I'm gonna get out of this coffee. So yeah, guys, let's do that. Okay, guys, so here is a nice cup of pour over. Okay, and I'm pretty much excited because it's been a long time since I have tasted a nice cup of pour over in front of camera and shared the flavor notes with you guys. So yeah, I'm doing that today after a very long time. So it's an exciting event, honestly. So let's do it. Okay, so the very first thing is, I always make this face. Honestly, don't get repulsed by it because the coffee is hot, steaming hot, and secondly, it is a little bit spicy at the first hot sip, but not that kind of spicy, you know. It is a subtle spiciness that you get at the very first point, and that's okay. I understand that kind of spiciness. But now I want to see what is in the depth of this coffee, and let's just give it a whirl and, you know, just cool it a little bit, because honestly the very best way to enjoy a nice pour over is to just lower its temperature to a point where it's just a lukewarm cup of coffee, because then you get those flavor notes which are actually present in that coffee. Otherwise you just get the flavors that are at the surface, not those deep profound flavors. So now let's go for that. Okay, so the very first thing that I noticed in this coffee, and I must say that there is some sense of fruitiness, and it is not citric, and while at the same time it is not that much sweety, but something bit within those boundaries. You know what I'm talking about? There is a kind of sweetiness of fruits in it, and it is something like a little bit of banana which has been promised, and that's a good thing that they have written that on there and they are delivering those notes. in this coffee. It's not as if they have written it there, but it is not in the coffee. And there is a little bit taste of what you can say as some fruity pulp of some fruits, like I would say as an apple and cherry. There is a mixture of that as well, and I'm enjoying that. But something very strange happened when I sipped it. Wait a second, just give me a moment. Okay, now when this coffee flows on your palate, what actually happens is that while it is giving you those flavorish fruity notes, at the same time you get this sense of as if some spicy needles are pricking at certain points of your palate. And I'm not saying it in a bad way or it just hurts your palate, but in a good way, like those sparkling candies which just pricks on your palate sometimes, in that manner. So it is a different kind of coffee, it gives you different kind of experience, and this is just the beginning. Let's dive a little bit deeper and see what more there is for us in this coffee. So yeah, let's go ahead. There's one trick to enjoy a nice cup of coffee, especially a nice specialty coffee in form of French press or pour over. What you should do is swirl the complete coffee on your palate and let it cool, and then slowly just let it flow down your throat, so that you get a little bit different kind of note at the back of your palate, and then allow your palate to just relax for a while before you take another sip. Then what actually happens is that your saliva interacts with that taste and brings a different kind of taste, what I would say as an aftermath of that flavor. And now I would say when this banana flavor just mixes with your remaining saliva, it brings out that bready flavor note, which is really good, and I kind of enjoy it. Even if you are a person like me who just enjoys his coffee completely alone and not with any kind of sandwich or cake, even still you're getting those bready flavor notes, so you are not getting a harsh kind of coffee. So that's very strange and unique in a different way. Honestly guys, it's enjoyable in that manner. Yeah, that happens a lot, and while at the same time I would say there is a certain smokiness in this coffee as well. It isn't like that it is fruity and smoky at the same time, and those seem to be a little bit opposite on different poles. But it is something as if you are enjoying some nice cherries and bananas which have been smoked on a charcoal, if that makes sense for you. I am trying to imagine and make the sense out of the flavors that I'm getting out of it. So something very similar like that, although it's a bit complicated to understand, but that kind of flavor I'm getting out of this coffee. So let's move ahead and see what more flavors I'm getting out of this coffee. There is something more, there is a little bit more that you can get out of it. Okay, just give me another moment. Now there is this one thing that you will get out of this coffee, and that makes it even more different and enjoyable. Now it gives you that flavor, that nice flavor of maple syrup, as if you are enjoying some maple syrup within your coffee, and that's amazing. I mean, keep your coffee, I'm not saying put a lot of beans in your coffee, but a little less, then you are getting this nice smoothie, smoky maple syrup kind of flavor, and that too a little bit like people get out of some really nice well-aged whiskeys, like Woodford Oak. There's a brand by this name, and Jeremy Sires has done a review on it, and he got similar kind of flavor notes. I'm telling something similar I'm getting out of it, some maple syrup. So that makes this coffee much more valuable in my eyes, at a higher regard. So that's something really insane for me, guys, because maple syrup in coffee is a completely different level of sweetness. Now it's not that kind of sweetness what you prefer in normal sweeteners like sugar, but a different kind of sweetness, and that is insane, guys. I mean, you can enjoy it at a different time and just simply sitting in front of some mountains, or if you're living at cold areas, although it's winter time, this coffee is for this time. I mean, for a person like me who enjoys fruity flavors but wants some nice maple syrup and some smokiness in its coffee, for sure this is a nice coffee. And yep, some nice fruits, maple syrup, smokiness, that's all in one package, guys. So if you're a person who really want to enjoy a nice rounded blended coffee, I would say, man, just go for this one. Just go for this nice El Diablo if you get it, because it's a nice deal, guys. I mean, there's nothing to lose. You would enjoy a nice cup of coffee, in its complete purity. So the link to this coffee is down in the description below, and along with that, I just want to say this one thing. If you enjoyed this video, this tasting procedure, make sure to hit the like button, and along with that, I just want to say, for more coffee tasting videos and different kind of coffee experiments, make sure to hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon in order to get notified every time a new coffee video comes out. And yep, guys, stay caffeinated, enjoy yourself, and yep, all hail to pirates. It is good, yep, I must say.